Hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is Dr. Michelle White with If Your Meds Could Talk podcast. I hope everybody's doing well today. And today, as we continue with the vital organs of the body review, today we're going to talk about your digestive system. Okay? So, as we get going, uh, I hope everybody's doing well in this shelter in place. I know everybody's cooking, getting new recipes, sitting around the table, doing things that we normally have not. So today's topic on digestive system is going to be very good for you to understand. And as I said before, I'm going over the vital organs right now so that when we do start talking about the different medications and how it affects these organs, you'll already know, okay, that's why this is working this way, blah blah blah. So today we're going to talk about the purpose and function of the digestive system. So there you are, sitting at dinner, enjoying some grilled chicken pasta and your spinach salad. So when you're finished, you take a last drink of water, wine, or soda, and you head to watch the 6 o'clock news because we got to keep up on this COVID-19 updates, okay? In a few minutes, you're thinking about getting the kids' homework, your chores you got to do for the rest of the night, and going to bed. But you've completely forgotten about the pasta dinner you just ate, but it's still in your stomach. So, how does everything work? All right, so the first thing is your mouth. We must have a mouth. Yeah, we got to have a mouth to be able to eat. So, your digestive system starts working even before you took your first bite of your pasta. And the digestive system will be busy at work on your chewed up dinner for the next few hours, or sometimes days, depending on what you've eaten. The process is called digestion, and this allows your body to get the nutrients and energy it needs from the foods you eat. So let's find out what happens to the pasta, to the wine, water, and soda, and the spinach salad that you just ate. Okay? All right. So even before you ate your dinner, when you smell the food, the aroma of the pasta and the garlic and the butter and all of that going in the onions, before you even took your first bite, saliva was forming. And the saliva or your spit begins to form in your mouth. When you do eat, the saliva breaks down the chemicals in the gut, and then this helps make the food mushy and easy to swallow. My dad always told us when we were little kids, make sure you eat that food. Chew your food up real good. Chew it up real good. And I think sometimes we have a habit of eating so fast that we don't chew real good. And therefore we have dumps and big gobs of food and our stomach's trying to digest it. And it's like, hey, you need to chew up a little bit more. So our tongues helps out as well. It pushes the food around while we chew with your teeth, and when you're ready to swallow, the tongue pushes a tiny bit of mushed up food called a bolus. And this goes towards the back of your throat and into the opening of your esophagus, which is the second part of the digestive tract. So the esophagus. So let's talk about the esophagus. It's a stretchy pipe that's about 10 inches, 25 centimeters long. It moves food from the back of your throat to your stomach. But also at the back of your throat is the windpipe. And we talked about this with the respiratory system. This allows air to come in and out of your body. When you swallow a small ball of mushed up food or liquids, there's a special flap called the epiglottis. And the epiglottis flops up over the opening of your windpipe to make sure no food enters or water enters the esophagus. Make sure the food enters the esophagus and not the windpipe. I said that a little backwards, but anyway, the whole purpose of the epiglottis is like a door to make sure no food, no drinks, liquids, or whatever goes down your windpipe. So I'm going to give you an example. My father is 88 years old, and sometimes at the dinner table, if he's talking and trying to eat at the same time, he'll start coughing because the food has gotten down his windpipe. And as a result of that, he's coughing, 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 which is a good mechanism, as we talked about with the respiratory system, until he can get his breath. And I'll say, Daddy, you can't talk and eat at the same time. So what happens is when we've drunk too fast or we ate too fast and we started to cough, it went down the wrong way. And this happens when the epiglottis doesn't have time to flop down, and therefore you cough involuntarily. And this is to clear your windpipe. So a lot of times we're eating, we're coughing, we're talking at the same times. And sometimes if we don't chew our food good, we can actually have that go down the wrong way. And then we have to do different types of maneuvers to get it up. Okay, so once the food has entered the esophagus, it doesn't just drop right into your stomach. Instead, there are muscles in the walls of the esophagus, like a pulsating action that, like waves of pulsating action to squeeze the food through the esophagus. And this takes about 2 to 3 seconds. So now we're at the stomach. Your stomach is very important, y'all. It really is important. And when we get to talk about certain drugs that affect your stomach, you're going to be like, what? Don't want to take that drug. But we have drugs out there to benefit your stomach and your esophagus as well. We'll talk about that as well. But your stomach, which is attached to the end of the esophagus, is a stretchy sac shaped like a J, and it has 3 very important jobs. 1, it stores the food you've eaten. 2, it breaks down the food into a liquefied mixture. 3, it slowly empties the liquid mixture into the small intestines. So look at your stomach like a mixer or maybe a food processor. I like to say a food processor. It's churning and it's smashing together all the small balls of food that came down your esophagus into smaller pieces, liquefying it. Okay? But if you do that ahead of time in your mouth, your stomach doesn't have to work so hard, thus your esophagus either. So it does this with some strong muscles in the walls of the stomach and what we call gastric juices. It's important to have these juices. And they come out from the stomach walls. And in addition to breaking down the food, the gastric juices also kill bacteria that might be eaten in the food. Okay? So here we go on to our small intestines. Did y'all know y'all intestines are 22 feet long? Whoa. The small intestines is a long tube that's about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. That's about 3.5 to 5 centimeters around. And it's packed inside you beneath your stomach. If you stretched out an adult's small intestines, it would be about 22 feet long, y'all, 6.7 meters. That's about 22 notebooks lined up end to end, all in a row. The small intestines breaks down the food mixture even more so your body can absorb all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. So that grilled chicken pasta that you just ate was full of proteins, or the grilled chicken of the pasta, let me say, was full of proteins because the pasta was carbohydrates. The chicken also has a little fat, and the small intestines can help extract them with a little help from friends. These 3 friends are very vital as well. These are some more vital organs. 1 is your pancreas, 2 is your liver, and 3 is your gallbladder. These organs send different juices to the first part of the small intestines. And these juices help to digest food and allow the body to absorb nutrients. The pancreas makes juices that help the body digest the fats and the proteins. The juice that the liver produces is called bile, and it helps absorb fats into the bloodstream. And then finally, your gallbladder serves as a warehouse for the bile, storing it up until the body needs it. So your food may spend as long as 4 hours in the small intestines, and it will become very thin, watery mixture. That's what's supposed to happen, okay? It's well spent time at the end of the journey. The nutrients from your pasta, the nutrients from your spinach, your wine, your water, or your soda now passes from the intestine into the blood. Okay, so once in the blood, your body is closer to benefiting from the complex carbohydrates in the pasta, the vitamin C, the vitamin A, the vitamin K, everything that was in your spinach, and then the protein in your chicken, and whatever else you drink, like the water and your wine and the soda. I'm sorry, I don't know how much nutrients you can get other than it was a liquid that you helped with your digestive system. All right, so next for these nutrients is the liver. And let me just say the liver is so very important, y'all. Your liver is just as important as your heart, because it is a muscle and it does a lot of things for your body. You lose your liver, that's a vital organ in your body. And it is responsible for all of the leftover waste, parts of the food that your body can't use, and it goes into the large intestines. So we need to love our liver. We need to really love our liver. The nutrient rich blood comes directly to the liver for processing. The liver filters out the harmful substances of waste, turning some of those waste into bile, which we talked about earlier. The liver even helps figure out how many nutrients will go to the rest of the body and how many will stay behind in storage. For example, the liver stores certain vitamins and a type of sugar your body uses for energy called glucose. Okay? All right. So, our large intestines is next. Our large intestines are about 3 to 4 inches around. That's about 7 to 10 centimeters. The large intestine is fatter than the small intestines, and it's almost the last stop on the digestive system or the digestive tract. Like the small intestine, it is packed into the body and would measure about 5 feet, about 1.5 meters long if we were to spread it out. The large intestine has a tiny tube with a closed end coming off it called the appendix. It's part of the digestive system too, or the digestive tract. Did y'all know that? But it doesn't seem to do anything, but it does. It does. Especially when you have problems and you have appendicitis, sometimes it has to be removed. And especially with younger kids. For some reason, younger children, pediatric children, for some reason seem to have a bout with appendicitis to the point that it has to be removed. And it is important that it be removed, because if it doesn't, you can actually send toxins all over your body. So like we mentioned, after most of the nutrients are removed from the food mixture that is left over, from the waste that is left over and our body can't use, this stuff needs to pass out of our bodies. And guess where it ends up next? Well, I don't know why everybody needs toilet paper, but now we understand why everybody got to go to get some toilet paper and there's no toilet paper on the shelves in the grocery stores. It's because everybody's at home right now, we're eating more, and now we got to go to the bathroom. So before it goes, it passes through the part of the large intestines called the colon, the large colon, or the colon. And this is where the body gets its last chance to absorb the water and some minerals into the blood. And this is important why we need to drink a lot of water. As the water leaves the waste product, what's left gets harder and harder and as it keeps moving along until it becomes a solid. Yep, it's our poop. Our poop, our bowel movement, our stool, or whatever else you want to call it. Okay, the large intestine pushes this poop, your stool, or your bowel movement into the rectum. And this is the very last stop on the digestive tract. The solid waste stays here until you're ready to go to the bathroom. And when you go to the bathroom, you're getting rid of this solid waste by pushing it through the anus. Okay? And there you have it. That's where the flush starts to talk. That's when you need your toilet paper, okay? All right. You can help your digestive system, y'all, that like to drink soda pop, soda pop, and no water. Okay? You can help your digestive system. I can't stress this enough by drinking water. It is important, it is vital for you to drink a lot of water. It's important also to you to eat high fiber foods like fruits and vegetables and whole grains so that your stool and your poop and everything passes through your system at ease. Because if it doesn't, then you got an issue with your digestive tract. You now have what we call constipation, and you don't want that. Trust me, you don't want that. All right, so here are my gold nuggets for today. There are 19 best foods to improve your digestion, and these are evidence-based. So one is yogurt. We all have heard about yogurt. It actually contains probiotics, so that's a good thing for your digestive tract. Two, apple a day keeps the doctor away. We should incorporate apples into our diets every day. In fact, one heavyweight champion boxer used to say every time he eats, he always eats an apple, and his digestive tract is on intact. Okay. The next one is fennel. Fennel is a plant. It's a pale bulb, long green stalk, and it actually adds flavor to the food. Kefir is also a cultured dairy product. Some of us may not have heard this, but it also is like yogurt. It actually helps with our digestive tract. Chia seeds. Chia seeds is a great source of fiber. Okay? So chia seeds, it's a prebiotic supporting the growth of healthy bacteria in our gut. Kombucha is a fermented tea. Kombucha is a fermented tea, and this is good for our digestive tract. Papaya, the papaya fruit, it's very it's it's full of an enzyme called papain, and this papain helps breaks down the digestive juices and everything else and protein fibers. So that's a good fruit to have on board. Whole grains. What do I mean by whole grains? The popular ones are like oats, quinoa, farro, and some of these whole wheat. These fibers are help improve our digestive system by first adding bulk to your stool and then reducing constipation. And second, they act like a prebiotic too, feeding healthy bacteria to your gut. Then, have you ever heard of tempeh? Are fermented soybeans. These too breaks down sugars through bacteria and yeast. Beets. Y'all, I've been doing beet juicing lately, and I can tell you my whole digestive system have did a flip upside down. First time I did it, my digestive system was like, "What you doing to me?" I'm drinking water and drinking beets at the same time. My system was like, "What? What?" But it's good for you. And we're going to talk about how beets help your blood pressure and your respiratory system later. Okay, so miso is also miso soup. Have you heard of that? That's fermented soybeans. Also will help. Ginger. I juice with my ginger too. Ginger is so good for your digestive system. Anytime you have upset stomach, ginger chews, ginger, anything with ginger in it is going to be good for your digestive system. Here's another thing called natto. And natto, like tempeh, is a fermented soybeans. Then you got kimchi. Kimchi is a fermented cabbage, and it contains probiotics that help digest and promote the growth of good bacteria in your colon. And then we want to incorporate our dark green vegetables, and those include your kale, your Brussels sprouts, all of these different dark green vegetables you want to incorporate into your diet. Sauerkraut. Who knew? Sauerkraut is good. Of course, salmon has your omega-3 fatty acids, which can reduce inflammation in your body. Lately, I've been hearing a lot about this bone broth, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But bone broth to your diet may be good. Peppermint has always been, if you have an upset stomach, peppermint drops, peppermint tea is very good as well. And then, so that's your 19 different proven, evidence-based, proven ways to keep your digestive tract on intact. So the bottom line, y'all, the digestive issues can be challenging, but certain foods may be helpful in easing uncomfortable symptoms. Fiber-rich foods such as whole grains, dark green vegetables, chia seeds also play a role in digesting, helping foods move through your systems more easily and quickly. So that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. This is Dr. Michelle White with Meds, If Meds Could Talk. Please subscribe. I would love to hear your feedback and come back real soon. Bye bye.